An array is a special variable which can hold multiple values in one place. And here's how they work in JavaScript. It is created using square brackets. This is an empty array stored into a variable. But we can also add multiple values and separate each value by a comma. To access one of the values, you just need to know their index. The index starts counting from 0. So we count 0, 1, 2. So to access the third value in the array, you need to use the index 2. Let's console log the third value. Simply write the index between a pair of square brackets. We're accessing the names array at index 2. In the console, we can see the value being printed. We can also overwrite a value using its index by assigning a new value. Now the value has been changed, which we can also see in the console if we console log the thing. To add a new item to the array, we can use the array.push method. Here you pass the value you want to add as an argument. In the console, we can see that our array contains a new value. Using the pop method, we can remove the last item in the array. In JavaScript, we have many different so-called array methods like pop and push. They all serve a different purpose, which you can see here. But let me know if you want to see a tutorial that explains all of them. Right now, we only store strings in the array. But in JavaScript, it is also possible to store different data types in one place. So we could store integers, booleans, and even another array in here. This is called a nested array. To access an item inside the nested array, we have to write two pairs of square brackets. The first one is for the outer array at index 0, 1, 2, 3, to get to the inner array. Here we can use the index 1 to get to the second value that is stored inside. One special thing about JavaScript is that arrays don't have their own data type, but in fact they are objects. So if we console log one array and click on this arrow, we can see some properties in the console. We can see every item and its index, but also this length property. It tells us how many items we have in this array. In this case, if we console array.length, then we get the number 6. Currently, we're just storing a bunch of nonsense. But here's an example of an actual useful array. It is a shopping list array that holds a lot of strings. Every string is one item we want to buy. And yes, you can simply create line breaks to have the array more readable. One of the most common things you would do with an array is to iterate over the array using loops. A simple forEach loop will help us perform an action on every element in the array. Here's an example. We take the shopping list and say, for each item inside the array, we want to execute the following code. Just console log the item. The item parameter holds the current value. With every iteration, we move up by one index. First, the item variable is apples, then milk, then bread, and so on. All of these values are printed in the console. ForEach loops are going to be very important when working with arrays, because eventually we want to do something with all of these values in the array. Here is a more advanced code example of how to use an array. First, we perform a forEach loop on the shopping list array. On every iteration, we create a new list item. Then we set the inner text of the element to be the current item of our shopping list. Remember, the item parameter contains the current item in the shopping list. First it will be apples, then milk, and so on. And this is the value that we put as the inner text of the list item we just created. And then we find my ordered list in the HTML code, which I have here. I simply placed an ordered list inside the body. I find the element in the body using a query selector, and then I use the append child function to add the list item to the ordered list. And since we're using a forEach loop, we do that with every list item in the shopping list. And that will place every shopping list item on the website. If you didn't understand all of that quite yet, then that is no problem. We went way further than covering normal arrays. If you want to learn more about the forEach loop, then watch this video right here. My name is Fabian, and this was Coding to Go, the channel where you learn the most relevant coding concepts in just a few minutes.